Hey Dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer, songwriter, musician, big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be Low Man's Lyric? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
So Ted, give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! Low Man's Lyric, we got another slow, sad song on the record. We just had one 2 songs ago, and now we're coming back to it. So I'm kind of questioning the order of operations for this record. Usually when you write a set list, you want to kind of have a nice opening and a nice big ending, and maybe the slow thing is in the middle. But if you have too many slow songs, it can bring down the record, and they already, in the last 2 records, have been having a lot of medium tempo songs. So I think that a lot of people treat this song with some angst. They kind of look down on it. They don't maybe like it as much because it just has that slow drudgery to it. It is very different from most of their other songs, but I'm going to give this one a chance because it took me a long time to appreciate it. I used to skip it straight up just for the guitar part in the intro. So we're going to give this another chance because when you actually sit down and focus and listen to it, when you're in the right mood, this is a pretty good song. So let's listen together, you and me, as pals, as buddies, and I'm going to stop at any time I hear something interesting. I'll try not to make it too often, and then I'm going to grade it using the following categories: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a scale of 0 to 4 with a grand total of 20 possible points. We'll find out at the end if Low Man's Lyric has what it takes to get to the top 20. Before we start, I need you to hit that subscribe button. 1,000 subscribers is the goal. I don't care if we go anywhere beyond that. That's all I need, 1,000 subscribers. So share this channel with your friends. Make sure you comment below as we're going through the video because I want to hear from you. And I think you're a lovely person and I think your opinion matters just as much as mine does. That's why you're here, right? Is to hear my opinion? It's just an opinion. You guys, I'm just a guy on the internet. Let's listen to Low Man's Lyric. I also can't talk for some reason. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1. So right off the bat, we have this really interesting guitar effect. It's a clean guitar, but there's some like distance to it. It's like way back at the end of a room or something, and you can hear, I was going to say Lars, you can hear James humming. He's doing what the next guitar is going to do, and this is actually the sound that put me off of the song for a long time. To me, it sounds like a bagpipe. I don't know how else to put it, but whatever effect he's using, it sounds like a bagpipe to me. And I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of bagpipes. As a matter of fact, I heard once upon a time that the invention of bagpipes was to scare off armies, that they could make this large sound so when their army came over the hill, the army waiting on the battlefield would hear this massive, really loud, scary sound and that they would run away. I don't know if that's true or not, but I believe it because when I hear bagpipes, I run the other way. I had a neighbor that was learning bagpipes once upon a time, and it is the worst. It is so bad. It's not for me. It's not for me. So when I hear this guitar thing, and not only just hearing that sound, but the same lick over and over and over for the next, how long is this song? 7 minutes? Oh my God, over 7 minutes. It's very, very annoying. So I empathize with you if you don't like this song, but we're going to try to get through it together. Here we go.
Step, he must come in from the rain. I fall, 'cause I've let go. The net below has right away.
I can hear the riffing going on in James's guitar. He's not just playing the same lick over and over. He's adding little fills in there, if you will. If you think of a drum fill as, you're playing a beat, boom, cha, and then the fill is da-da-do-do-do-do, whatever you do with the toms, right? That would be the fill. In this, he's got this chord progression going with the guitar, but he's adding these little be-dee-doo, he's like adding a little extra fills in there, a little extra color for it. And then we got this little snare in the background, again, with a heavy reverb on it. Sounds like it's far away. It might be mixed with I think I hear a tambourine as well. Very low, just like the song. We're in 6/8.
Seek reality.
4, 5, 6.
My fingers seek my veins. The trash pile is warm. To know what's safe from the storm.
That's interesting.
And I can't bear.
I think I'm hearing an organ as well. I wonder if that guitar pedal is like a pipe, a bagpipe, or an organ. It's got a very drony sort of feel, something created with air. It's got that air sound to it, like some sort of accordion or a pedal organ or something like that, something wind blown, something. I don't know how to describe it, but it sounds like held out organ notes in the background. We've got a thick kick drum. It's got maybe a soft beater on it. Boom, boom, boom going on, but that snare is still miles away. Boom, 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 boom. The mix is imbalanced. And then instead of a hi-hat, we have a tambourine, like a ch-ch-ch-ch. It might not be a full tambourine. It might be just like the rim of the tambourine, right? Just a shaker kind of thing. There's the snare. All right. Casual building of the song, right? We had the snare way back in the distance, and now it's right up front center. Crack. Nice.
Won't cry for this man, 'cause no man is due.
Symbols.
Please forgive me.
There's the hi-hat.
Reality. My fingers feel fulfilled. Touch clean with a dirty hand. I touch the clean to the waste.
Did they do this at the same time as their cover for Tuesday's Gone? Because that's what I'm feeling. We have a very similar feel to the song, and James is going so country. My eyes, seek reality. He's doing a lot of he's playing with those vowels. For those of you who don't know, maybe aren't singers, I'm not the best vocalist in the world. I'm not a very well-trained singer, but I know enough about singing that sometimes when you're recording your voice, it's best to play with your vowels. You might sometimes use an E, you might use an A for the same sound. I look back to my cover. I did a cover of My Little Demon by Fleetwood Mac. I'm really proud of that cover. But I realized when I was singing it, when I used me, it didn't feel right. Me, it was just the note was not holding right in the sound. And so I had to say may. And then in the rhyming word, I had to do the same A sound. And even though it's written with the letter E, I have to say it with the letter A. A lot of the best singers out there do a similar thing. You might start with an ooh, ah, right? You're trying to say an A, but you start with an ooh. I don't know the exact way that vowels transfer. But in order to hit the right note, sometimes you have to start with the wrong vowel and ease yourself into the sound. I don't know. That's not a good example because he's staying on that E the whole time. But you can hear him playing with his vowels a lot more on this song, and his voice is very, very well done, well produced. Good job, Bob Rock.
The trash files won't.
And that's another thing. He's playing with the emphasis of his voice, the volume. It's not just the trash fire is warm. You know, that would be classic Hetfield, but he's going a little more whispery. The trash fire is warm. He's recognizing that a microphone is an amplification device. It brings loudness from, like, you don't have to scream into the McDonald's order machine. They can hear you just fine. You can just say it at normal level and the microphone will raise the level. Although some drive-through machines don't work that well. But anyway, he's recognizing that the microphone is letting him use his air in a different way. So he doesn't have to scream, he doesn't have to shout, he doesn't have to every single note. He can kind of whisper. And when you whisper, you get some more feeling in, man. Some more feeling in. Ooh, yeah.
But no, I say from the store.
Snare's gone.
And I can't bear to see what I've let me be. So wicked and wrong. So as I write
There's
to
a
you, yeah, what is done to do, yeah, maybe you'll understand and won't cry for this man, 'cause no man.
Man. It could be a man, right? Man. It's not just man. You won't cry for this man. Man. There's like a It starts with an Man. You're kind of going into the note. Go. Nice build. Gradual. Where do you go from here? Change up.
So low the sky's all I see. All I want from you is forgive me. So you bring this poor dog in from the rain. Though we just once right back out again. Like a ride to the alleyway. Confess all to the rain. But I lied.
That's a Lars fill right there.
I lie straight to the mirror. When I'm broken to match my face. The trash fire is warm. But no, I say from
Get a little flange in there.
and I can't bear to see what I've let me be. So wicked and
Warm. You hear that? The vowel changes. Again, he's playing with those vowels. Very, very well done. This is a singer who's coming into his own. He's learning how to use his vocals, and it sounds great. Whether or not you like this sort of southern rock country kind of sound, James is really, really figuring out these pipes. And it's working for me. There's some cool harmonies in here, but he's really experimenting. This song is pushing him to try something new. He's not just da 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 da. He can do more with those vocals, and it sounds great. We wouldn't have the Hetfield we have today were it not for these records. And Bob Rock, this is my one little appreciation post, if you will, for Bob Rock. I'm not a huge fan of what he turned the band into later on. We'll get to it when we get there. But as far as this song is concerned, the singing is fantastic.
Was I right to you? Yeah, what I've done and to do. Yeah, maybe you don't understand, but won't cry for this man, 'cause no man is
There again, okay, so more than just changing the vocals, but the way that the line "forgive me," he's kind of letting it like what's the word for it? I can't remember the word for it, but he's doing a run, right? I think that's what it is, a run. He's not just holding it. A newbie to music composition, writing, singing, whatever might go, "Please forgive me," and then just leave it there. But what he's doing is, "Forgive me." He's got those extra little hey, just throwing them in subtly. If you do it too much, you start to sound like the national anthem at every sporting event where, oh, it's too much. That's too much. Nice, tactful use of runs. May. Cool.
please forgive me.
This is kind of the hook of the song, I guess. Back to the toms.
So the sky's all I see. All I want from you is forgive me. So you bring this poor dog in from the rain. Though he just wants right back out again.
That was a nice anticlimactic build. They could have taken this anywhere. Classic Metallica would jun 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 come in with this. They would have made it this giant solo, maybe harmonized, maybe fade out, whatever. But this is nice because it starts like it feels like it's going to go that way, and then you can hear a gradual slowing, or maybe not slowing, but you can feel the calm down. Ja, ja, do, 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 do. It's softening. Really nice. Really sweet.
Seek reality. My fingers seek my veins.
Back to the hums. And now it's just Kirk's guitar and the hum. He's also taking a different pattern. Yeah, it's not just following Kirk's guitar here. It's a little faster. This sound gets under my skin. It's too long. It's like chalkboard, like fingers on a chalkboard for me. Okay, it's over. Whew! So done with that sound. Let's give this song some points, shall we? Whoosh. Composition. I happen to really like what's going on in this song. I think they have a really creative build from almost nothing. We have just a light guitar, and then we hear that weird, awkward pipe organ thing, and then we've got some tambourine in the background with a light snare way back there, but then we hear the kick drum in with that, we hear some riding on the tambourine, and then we have a crack of the snare. It builds up, we get a little bit more of a I don't want to call it an acoustic feel, but it feels like it moves a little bit more. We gradually introduce each new instrument before pulling them back down. And each time we kind of build up, we kind of fall again. And that, I think, sort of illustrates the rise and fall of the character in this story. I think it's beautifully done. I think the only major complaint that I have for the song is it's a bit long. The length of it, and because it's so slow, that 6/8 time in such a slow, I mean, you could argue that it's 3/4, but that slow feel of the song makes it really drag as is. Then the fact that we keep coming back to similar pieces, and then there's that long droning outro. It really does make for a long song. So if you're not in the right mood for this one, it can really kind of get under your skin. And maybe that's intentional. Again, there's a lot of art projects on this record, a lot of songs that really feel artistically crafted. But the search in this journey is all about me trying to find my favorite Metallica song. And when I'm looking for a favorite song, I'm not looking for something that's a chore. I'm not looking for something that I have to be in a mood for. So I still like it, but compositionally, we're going to knock out only 1 point. Everything else is solid. Compositionally, it's a 3. Memorability. I think that there's a few things in the song that stand out. One, the fact that, we talked about the von Restorff effect in their entire discography. This one sounds unique. It sounds unlike anything else they've ever written. It's got a very weird sound effect. Again, that's the thing that really makes it stand out, is whatever the hell Kirk is doing. We got the "My eyes seek reality." I think that line is really beautifully, not just written, but performed as well. There's something about that line. I don't think there's a really good, memorable hook, but I think the song in general has a lot to remember. So I think I'm going to give them a positive point on this one. Memorability, it's a 3. Emotional response. I kind of touched on this a little bit in composition, but for me, it's a little bit long. I do like the song. I want to give it positive points because I like it. I do favor it. It grew on me. It really did. I had to listen to it over and over before I finally liked it. As a matter of fact, I skipped it for years and years and years, probably from the age of whenever I first heard it till, I don't know, a handful of, maybe a couple of years ago. It's a fairly new addition to songs that I appreciate. So the fact that it took so long to grow on me, it kind of says a little something about the song. You have to be in the right mood for it. But I cannot stress enough, I really, really hate the sound effect that Kirk is using. Whatever the hell's going on in the right speaker is annoying to me. I'm not a fan. So even though I like the song as a whole, that sound brings it down 2 notches for me. Emotional response, that's a 2. Instrumentation. I have no complaints in this song. I appreciate that Lars is holding back a little bit. It's really hard for him to play soft. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even really play that soft. He is still hitting pretty hard in a bunch of the song, but at least in the beginning, he's held back. We have more tambourine than we do hi-hat. We have distant drums instead of cracking intro. Like he could come in so early, but by holding back, I really appreciate that. James is experimenting with the lick on the left side of the speakers. The bass is doing fine. It's not really standing out, which I think is the bass doing its job correctly. When you don't really notice the bass that much, I think when you don't notice instruments, that's when they're doing their job the best. Does that make sense? I guess this band is supposed to be a guitar-driven band, so you're going to hear the guitars, but the bass is really supposed to hold the low end, and he's doing that well. Because he doesn't stand out, it means he's not really doing anything too flashy. He's kind of knowing his role, and I appreciate that as a bassist myself. Well done, Jason. So overall, they're all doing a pretty good job. I can't really knock them on this one. Instrumentation, that's a 3. Lyrics. This song is quite the journey. You hear stuff like trash fire and let the poor dog in from the rain, but he just wants right back out again. We've talked a lot about sin on this record. We talked a lot about addiction. In this song, we have a low man, who is nowhere safe from the storm. He can't get away from the storm at all, no matter where he is, whether it's addiction, whether it's just, whatever problems are happening in life. Wherever he goes, they're following him. And when the moment somebody gives him a safety net, it burns out from below. There's a line about the safety net being rotted away, and there's the line about the dog wanting back out again, right? He comes into safety, but now all he can think about is going outside. And it's just this internal struggle that's always going on. Another line that really stands out to me is, as I write to you of what is done and to do. Okay, so this person is writing to someone else of something that is done and something that is to do. And that line really stands out to me because it almost sounds like it could be a suicide note. And that's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, myself included. I don't think that we should treat suicide lightly. I think that that's something we need to be able to have open conversations about. I think that if there are troubles in your life, there are people that want to help you. So if you need help, you can reach out to, there are people around you who do want to help. You can feel so low that there's nothing left. You hear lines in the song about my fingers reach my veins. That could both be injection of a drug or a slitting for a suicide attempt. But I hear suicide attempt in these lyrics because of what is done and to do. This letter is being written to someone, and when they read it, it's already over. But when this person is writing it, it's about to happen. And I think that's really deep. Now, you could also interpret this in another way or another number of ways where it could be of my past, like my troubled past. I'm writing about the things I've done and the things I have to do to make up for them. It could be something like that. But I just think that these lyrics are really deep. There's a lot of things going on in them, and I appreciate what they're trying to say. And I wish all of you well and all good health. And that if there's ever a problem in your life and you don't feel like there's anyone who you can reach out to, know that I'm here for you. I really, really mean that. You can reach out to Midnight Notion personally via Facebook or Instagram. I don't think YouTube's system has a messaging system anymore, but know that I am here for you as best as I can be. My music is meant to be helpful to you in your hard times. So never, never, never be afraid to reach out. Reaching out is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of great, great strength. You got this. I love you. I believe in you. Lyrically, Low Man's Lyric gets a 4. And so Low Man's Lyric, it's a grand total of 14 points. It is not enough to top the top 20. As a matter of fact, it is in 40th place out of 72. And those metal elitists out there will be really upset to hear that this song is actually tied with Leper Messiah. Ooh, I can hear the angry comments. What? Leper Messiah, Low Man's Lyric at the same score? The math saith so. I can't argue with the math. This system is pretty well designed. Let's take a look at that top 20 one more time. Really, honestly, take a look at that top 20. Analyze it, see how the numbers are broken down and the order of operations. Maybe if your order of operations is different. Maybe you don't rate composition highly. Maybe lyrics is at the top for you. Then this score is probably completely different. All these numbers get all goofed up. Whatever your order of operations is might be different, but for me, this is how I grade it. Composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, lyrics. And with that, we get this top 20. I hope you like it. I hope you agree with me, but you don't have to. This is just some guy on the internet having an opinion. So now it's your turn. Put your opinion in the comments below. Tell me, using my method, what score would you give this song? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you sick of hearing that whatever that sound is like I am? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you check out Midnight Notion's music as well, as including the songs that I've referenced. Why don't you hit that subscribe button? Why do you want to hit the subscribe button? I'll tell you why. Because tomorrow I'm going to scare everybody and make everybody upset about a positive review for Attitude. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.